The price of gold and silver shot up a little bit. What's happening is interest rates are moderating lower, and so the forward costs of holding gold and silver are starting to drop a little bit. Will gold and silver move higher? That all depends, of course, on what's going to happen with interest rates. We've got a big economic indicator come Thursday. Here's how I'm playing GLD stock and SLV stock, the gold and silver ETFs, for after what happens on Thursday once we get the economic indicators, which is inflation, which will drive what will likely happen with interest rates. Let's jump in and I'll show you a couple charts I'm looking at. If you're brand new to finding my channel, please hit that like follow button. I just launched this channel about a month and a half, almost 2 months ago. It's growing quite nicely. Here we are looking at GLD stock, which is gold, the ETF. And for those of you who've been following me for some time, I hold, every once in a while I'll buy some gold, but I hold silver coins. So I'm constantly watching what's going on with silver. I had some big options expire about a week and a half ago, the third week of the month going into November. Last week I had a couple small position options expire going into the holiday here in the United States. Not much movement there. We had seen movement downward. Things are turning back upward. I'm waiting for a new position for Thursday. What's happening on Thursday? We get personal incomes, personal expenditures, plus PCE, the index. The PCE index is actually an inflation indicator. It's the deflator, actually. And this is the preferred inflation indicator for the Federal Reserve. They look at that. They don't look at CPI, but they're pretty much the same. One has some more nuances, things like this. Expectations for the PCE indicator are to move downward, the core rate probably down to 3.1%, which would be a nice move lower. But what if we don't get there? What if we go too far? This will really drive interest rates. And with that drive on interest rates, and probably set the tone for what's going to happen over the course of the next month, would determine what I plan on doing next, going with GLD stock or SLV stock. Here is GLD stock, the gold ETF, and here is SLV stock, the silver ETF. Now, they're not the same parent company, but they sure did pick nice, convenient symbols there, GLD stock and SLV stock. Like I said, I buy coins. What I do with my silver, and it's specifically silver, when we see rallies like this, and as you can see, we were sitting about 22, pushing 23 on SLV stock. This rally is usually a trigger, but I need to wait until Thursday before I start pulling the trigger. If we see any kind of movement upward beyond here, and I see what I'm looking for in the PCE deflator index, I'm looking for numbers that are softening, but maybe not as much as what the market's looking for. I don't know that I'm going to be looking for 3.1. What if we see 3.2? What will happen is gold and silver would fall straight back downward because despite the comment we got from a Federal Reserve banker today saying he thinks we're done raising interest rates in general are going to remain higher for longer. It isn't just inflation. There's also M2 money supply. The Federal Reserve just flooded the money supply with too much money. Now they're trying to get it back to trend line. So yeah, you need to watch inflation. PCE, the deflator index, would be the one you want to look at. But also you need to watch M2 money supply. So they go kind of hand in hand. And we're seeing some movement kind of sideways on M2 money supply, but I'm really going to be kind of watching for here the core PCE inflation deflator. Again, we're looking for about 3.1. That would be a huge move downward on this inflation deflator. That chart would look astoundingly positive. Stocks would likely rally. Bond yields would likely collapse. TLT stock, one of the ones that I follow every single moment of every single day, would probably rally pretty hard. But what if we don't get there? Keep in mind, we need to see interest rates higher for longer. it isn't all about inflation. That M2 money supply, that's the one you really got to watch for. Number one. Number two, the one thing I'm looking for most is they keep interest rates higher for longer. Just because we see these movements that everybody thinks that we're going to see, I don't know that interest rates are necessarily going to go straight back downward. They keep telling us higher for longer. Here's a good look at the U.S. Treasury yield. As you can see, we kind of bounced off the top there, kind of falling a little bit. I expect sideways movement. I expect we'll be in a range right around these yield levels for the U.S. 10-year. Now, the 10-year is the benchmark. It's the one you look towards always as your guiding sort of metric for investing. Right now, actually, I think we saw 4.228 this morning printing as interest rates kind of slid a little further. They were at about 4.35 yesterday. They were about 5% just last month. So it's a pretty decent slide downward. How much is there? We're going to find out a lot of information on, of course, Thursday. If I see what I'm looking for, PCE deflator continues to move a little bit lower. Maybe not as much as what the market's looking for, but we see that continued move lower. Okay, we're at 3.1%. That isn't that magical 2% that we'll probably be looking for. The Federal Reserve is likely going to keep these interest rates higher for longer. What that will do is it will probably push GLD stock and SLV stock back downward, that they'll cap out. What I will do, sell calls. I'll collect that premium, plain and simple. What I do with that money, so I have like my own little portfolio, my silver portfolio, and every once in a while I get some gold coins, but I buy silver coins, and then I literally bury them in the backyard, actually out in the forest. I'm a little nuts on that one. I just think that things are just going to go south. Let's just say that. I think the Federal Reserve is going to get it wrong again, and it's just nice to be sitting on a stack of coins. It's kind of my take on it. So all the premium I take from those options, once they expire, about once a month, I take that premium and I buy more coins. And I just keep doing it month after month after month after month. And after years, I've got a nice little stack of coins. And I'll keep doing that. It's just, there's going to be a certain point where I'm probably going to be like, all right, that's enough. I also get into crypto, not because I think it's going to be saving the world, but because it's an alternative and it's easy for me to trade. So this is what I'm looking for. I am looking for the PCE deflator to move downward. Maybe not as much as everybody else. And I expect that the bond yields, this U.S. 10-year Treasury yield, will probably stay right about where it is. This will pause the move higher in GLD stock and SLV stock. I'll hit the sell button on those calls, and I'll just let that premium expire worthless. Once it does, I'll buy some more coins. I do it all the time. Make sure you hit that like and follow button if this is the kind of content you're looking for. Like I said, it just launched this channel about 2 months ago. It's growing very nicely, almost where I need to be. I hope to hit that goal by the end of this year. So thanks so much for helping out and supporting the channel that way. We'll see you in the next video.